the physiological reactions immediately go away. It's pretty amazing. So that is something that takes practice, but it takes practice because it's, like I said, the same thing with stress. I mean, the same thing with change. You have developed neural networks in your brain that have been strengthened every time you've had a negative reaction to stress. So what you're doing is you're unwiring that negative reaction and rewiring in the positive thoughts and the positive action. So it takes time and it takes practice, but you get better every time. And eventually that's it. You don't need, it's not practice. It's just, it is just become a part of how you cope and how you think. So, then after that has occurred, later on, you're going to analyze that emotion, that stress that you had, and you're going to ask yourself and be honest with yourself. And you're going to ask yourself that, was there any way that I could have managed that situation better? And you're not asking that so you can beat up on yourself. You're asking so you can learn and change and move forward, because we learn from failure. We learn from, we learn from trial and error, so we're learning that, we're learning how to handle stress better and to build our resiliency. So next time you are hit with a stressful event, and there will be next time, you will now implement that, and you will handle it even better. And the goal is to just get better at it each time. So, what does it say? Again, and then you will habitually learn how to cope. And then again, with the 63 days, 3 cycles of 21. Okay. So you need to intentionally and deliberately train your mind. Just kidding, train your mind. That's a typo. Told you I was in a rush. So this is a list. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be in a list form. So I'm going to just read it. So to train your mind, you need to analyze how you managed that situation, how you reacted, what were your triggers, what you could have done better, and do it better next time. Okay? Write it down. You can write it down in that 5-minute gratitude journal that you have on your handy dandy phone. Number 2, practice makes perfect. So you want to build on the success of the prior successes, okay? And that's how you're going to look at it. You're not looking at it as failures. It's all perception. So you're strengthening that memory. So you can draw on it again until it becomes just your go-to. Number 3, this is a good one. Have realistic expectations of life. When you have rigid expectations and you think that everything needs to go your way, and it's so unfair, this happened to me today, it's so unfair, life is not fair, so you have to be flexible. I know our brains are built to make sense of things, so when things don't make sense, it's uncomfortable for us. So what helped me was once I learned that the world was ran by psychopaths, it all fell into place and started to make sense. I was like, oh, okay, well then that makes sense. I was telling one of my clients the other day, in like seventh grade, I think, I realized I was devastated when I found out that the government, I shouldn't even say this, doesn't really care about us the way that we're told that they do in our classes. I was so upset. I was like, what? They don't care about us, the people? That's not their main goal. All right. Not okay. So that's number 3. This is supposed to be 4, not 14. Anyway, utilize your support system. So again, that helps you with awareness. It helps you, your support system, if they're a good friend, they're going to be honest and they're going to constructively use criticism, constructively. Don't be so sensitive, because feedback is good. It's like we judge ourselves on our intentions, but how we come off, that's for other people to, we might not come off the way we think that we come off. So there's always room for improvement. Nobody's perfect. You'll never be perfect, and you just have to accept that. So if somebody, especially when you have enough people in your family or friend group telling you that, hey, look, you gotta, it's probably, they're probably right. So you need to take that into consideration. So that's, good support will tell you honestly how to tell you what, make you aware of things that you may not be aware of otherwise. Okay, so 5. This is another good one. You need, and I shouldn't be talking to you like this, but people need to take responsibility for their own actions. Okay. When you don't and you blame everybody else for your troubles and your hardships, it keeps you with a victim mentality, and having a victim mentality is just limiting you from becoming who you were designed to be. Like, it's setting limits on yourself. It's you're a victim. You're not in control of yourself. That's how it, ultimately, a victim's mentality. That's the huge negative aspect of having that mentality is you don't feel in control of yourself, of your life, and you are in control of your life. So take responsibility, and that's very important. Take care of your physical health. I don't need to lecture about that. We all know that. Exercise, sleep, eat right, and the reason why is because it affects your moods, your energy, your balance, your ability to have healthy relationships. I mean, just if you're not sleeping, you're cranky, anyway. So number 7, don't let others control your emotions. Okay, I have a quote from, what is his name, Warren Buffett. Not a huge fan of him, but I'm a fan of this quote, and it is very, very truthful. So you will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. The power of sitting back and observing things with logic. True power is, I botched it. True power is sitting back and observing things with logic. True power is restraint. If words can control you, that means everyone else can control you. This goes with the responsibility thing again. You need to take responsibility for your life. Okay. Number 8. Our brains are designed to reboot like a computer. We need to take breaks and zone out and, we need to zone out and daydream and when kids sitting in school all day, if they happen to look out the window and daydream, which is a healthy thing to do, I mean, sometimes they get diagnosed with a ADHD or something, and it's like, I'll save that for another video, but that is something, we're not supposed to sit there all day. Not many people can sit there all day long and pay attention. You have to take breaks. Also, side note, ADHD. Our brains are not developed. I'm getting tired. Our brains are not designed. This is my second time doing this. Our brains are not designed to handle multitasking. We're supposed to do one thing at a time. When we multitask something, one of our tasks, or both of them, all of our tasks, will suffer, will not come out as good as if we focus on one thing at a time. So this idea of multitasking being the norm is false. There's a lot of misconceptions, like I told you. And this is all proven, scientifically proven evidence. I had my sites, my research cited and everything in the notes form of this presentation, which I cannot access on a download. Anyway, okay. So in order to build resilience, we need to reconceptualize or redesign certain memories or thoughts in a way that is more manageable. So, let me see. Okay, so basically, very important to believe that you will achieve the desired outcome. Okay, so okay, I'm trying to think what I meant here. So apply this as you are working towards resilience. Remain honest about the situation. Okay, I get it. So instead of beating yourself up, you're working towards something. You're working towards resilience, right? And this is in regards to building resilience to stress. So if you weren't perfect the first time, the second time, the third time, tell yourself, I'm working towards building resilience. I am not there yet. It takes practice. So it's just so important to, and that's honest, and believe that. But you have to believe that healing is possible. And I'm a prime example of it. And I get it. I understand. I was so hopeless at one point because I've tried everything, and I was like, this is as good as it gets. And it's not true. So, for example, I posted on Reddit that there was a free webinar. Please join this. And I posted on trauma, anxiety, all these mental health pages, Reddit pages, to join the webinar because I wanted to share this with as many people as I can. So I got such negative responses. Negative. So they saw it more as like a salesy opportunity for me rather than maybe there is something to this alternative treatment that I can gain something from. So I understand the response that I got because it was like, person probably just like, yeah, right. There's nothing out there that can help me. So of course they're looking at it from their angle. If I would have looked at it the same if I was that person. I mean, we all have our own experiences, and our experience shapes the world. What we experience shapes the world. So, I get it. People are not optimistic that people don't aren't optimistic that there's something that can heal their issues, because it's not common that we see people healing their issues. It is common to see people going to therapy for 30 years, 20 years, and they are still, nowhere, not much better than when they started. I mean, I remember going to a therapist and having to write things down during the week because otherwise I'd go there and we would just like stare at each other, and they say like silence is therapeutic. Well, no, it's not, because not maybe sometimes, not when it's like all the time, because I was just like thinking like, what's going on here? Why aren't we looking? So I would have to write things down, and then sometimes I would even exaggerate things just because we had a whole 50 minutes, 50, not 15, 50 minutes to be, and when you have social anxiety like I did, that's nerve-wracking. So the program that I designed it based off of many flaws, but that one flaw was taken into consideration because I wanted to give people the opportunity to do the 8 weeks, and when they put in their effort, they will not need a therapist anymore. So if they want the support, sure, I'll do it, but I want to give them the opportunity to decide how long they want therapy. I don't want to just sit there and take your money forever. I don't think that's right. I've been there, and I want to help people, not just sit there and make money and go home and be like, I accomplished nothing today. It's a good feeling to help people. That's why I constantly encourage everybody to who desires to help people to do life coaching. This is a side note too, because A, you don't need to pay $1 million for an education. B, some people, like I did sales. I'm not a salesperson. I did not come home after work thing patting myself on the back because I oversold nose pads to an optical supply company. I was like, yes, no, I didn't feel passionate about it. Okay. That being said, self-fulfilling prophecies. Now, self-fulfilling prophecies are absolutely real things. They're real in a negative form, and they're real in a positive way. Because I'll start with the negative. Like your biggest fear. Say you're in a relationship and your biggest fear is like getting cheated on. Now you're constantly like questioning, where were you? Who were you talking to? Let me see your social media. I've never done that before. Um, and you do it so much and you accuse someone so much that they just kind of like say, well, go ahead, you know, being accused of it every day. Anyway, what is the difference? Not only that, but are you, when you're doing that, you're drawing a wedge and you're nagging your significant other and you're not. I mean, how can you make the other happy? You know, you want to make somebody happy. When they're happy, they make you happy. How can that person be happy when they're constantly being questioned? So, also, another example is like you constantly pick the same type of person because that's who you're comfortable with. You're comfortable. A lot of people were brought up in dysfunctional households. They are comfortable in dysfunction. Um, then they meet somebody who's normal. Remember, there's no normal, but you know, not dysfunctional like they are, or as dysfunctional, and it scares the crap out of them. Like they will find any excuse to sabotage or run. Like, oh my god, she didn't, she's not nice to my dog, and I just won't take that. You know. So you're gonna end like a wonderful relationship. I mean, does she beat your dog? No, she just doesn't love him the way I do. You know, like maybe that wasn't the greatest example, but you know what I mean. So self-fulfilling prophecies in a positive direction is learning to control your thoughts, being positive about yourself, and the most important factor is your self-talk and what you believe about yourself. So what you believe about yourself absolutely manifests into um, what okay it, your it will how you think about yourself, it shows in your decisions and your lifestyle and how you treat yourself and how you present yourself, you know. So if you think highly of yourself, if you say, you know, I'm smart enough to do this, I absolutely can handle this, you know, confidence, and you will get there. You know, you will get there, absolutely. And in order to, another good thing about these steps, it teaches you to self-evaluate and self-regulate. And when you self-evaluate and self-regulate, you're able to get to know yourself and accept yourself for your differences. So we live in a society today where it's like differences are not celebrated. Differences are, you know, like shunned. We're all individual. So, but it's like we have to accept ourselves for being different. And it doesn't matter if you accept me. It doesn't matter if you accept me. Somebody will. Like we're, you know, no, not everyone's gonna like me, and I know that, and I'm not gonna like everybody, and that's okay. But when I was a teenager, I wanted everyone to like me, and that's an unrealistic expectation that doesn't happen, because then you know, what, you're so nice to people that they just take advantage and walk all over you when you let them because you want them to like you. Well, anyway, so and so when you learn to self-evaluate and self, you know, self-evaluate your emotions and self-regulate your emotions and self-evaluate, you just become you your identity strengthens your, and you are more able to accept yourself for who you are, and that is important. And you're not comparing yourself to others, and when you can celebrate others' successes and not compare yourself, because there's always somebody better at something that you're comparing yourself, but then there's always something about you that's unique about you that they don't have. You have to embrace your unique self and your quirks. Okay. This is the last line. So Q&A. Any questions? Now remember, there were supposed to be people involved in this, and it was supposed to be an interactive webinar. So I'll just summarize what we went through. So remember the 5 steps. You're going to gather yourself, center yourself, gather your thoughts, and then you're going to analyze and reflect, answer, respond, question why, and analyze. Keep doing that until you come to the aha moment or an epiphany of why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, and you write that down, or you talk to your support system. Okay, then you revisit with your support system or with what you wrote down, and you're going to look for connection, you're going to look for triggers, and you're going to look for, associations even, and then from there, you're going to develop your action step. And I gave you plenty of examples of what that can be. So this can be applied to how you handle stress. Okay, so stress, remember, a chaotic mind is filled with worry, anxiety, fear-related emotions. Our brains are not designed for negativity, so that manifests as anxiety. That's our anxieties, our fears, that isn't coming. That's our bodies signaling us that something is wrong. We need to confront it. Okay, so what else? So we are. I need to get into that. That's all right. So the steps for handling stress. So you need to intentionally, deliberately train your mind. So analyze how you reacted. Should I slow down and summarize that? When we are in a stressful situation, we need to perceive stress as a positive. We need to believe that it's a positive. It is absolutely a fact that there is good stress, and it's all in your perception. So you need to build memories and strengthen those positive memories and build resilience in order to help you cope with stress. Okay, so that is in regards to changing your perception of stress from negative to positive. So let me go back to the list. Okay, so I already said analyze how you reacted, what you could do better next time, what triggered you, and then what you will do better next time. And this is not done to beat yourself up. It's done to learn for the next time and perfect it and to build on the healthy memories. Okay, practice makes perfect. So like I said, you're strengthening these memories and drawing upon that. You're going to have flexible expectations, and you are not going to have unrealistic expectations. You are going to utilize your support system so they can increase your awareness. You're going to take responsibility for yourself. We cannot control others. We can only control our reaction to others. And we cannot control our circumstances. but we can control our reactions to our circumstances. And remember that nobody has an uncomplicated life, regardless of what you see on social media. We all have issues. It's just, there's never not going to be a time where your life is, well, maybe a short time, but smooth all the way. It's not a linear process. Something will come. So coping skills, you need them. And then when that occurs, when that negative, monkey wrench is thrown at you, you deal with it as it comes. You don't project. You say, oh, well, something's going to happen. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy, then something will happen. Take care of your physical health. Going into stressful situations, you're not going to let other people affect how you feel about yourself. Understand most people are so self-absorbed and so worried about what others think of them that they are not really too worried about you. It's just a fact. Unless they are the type of people that, I had a friend who would pick everybody apart and say, oh my God, look at her pinky toe. It's bigger than her other pinky toe, and her earlobe doesn't match. I mean, just like the most minor. But who had the problem? The person with the pinky toe this much bigger than the other pinky toe, or the person picking apart the people? That after that, I didn't want to hang out with her. That was annoying, really annoying to have somebody be picking someone apart every second. It's just annoying. No one wants to be around that person anyway, so don't let people like that affect you. Take responsibility. Did I say that? Yeah. Okay. Take mental breaks. So I think that also emotional warning signals. Pay attention to the emotional warning signals. It's your body's way of trying to tell you something is out of balance. We want to get everything in balance. That would be by doing the 8 weeks consistently. We will get everything in balance. Okay, the multiple perspective advantage. Look outside yourself. Ask yourself, what would I tell my best friend? The 5 steps. Through them, and pay attention to your thoughts. Okay, immediately replace the negative with a believable version of the positive. According to research, 5 to 16 minutes per day of focused meditative capturing of thoughts increases your chances of a happier outlook on life. So find a way to fit that into your schedule. Everybody has that little time while you're in the shower. So mind management. Do not overthink things. Okay? Get comfortable with being completely honest with yourself. Do not associate yourself with labels. Do not say, that's because of my anxiety. Say, I am anxious because I have to do a webinar in front of tons of people today. Just kidding. Nobody's here. Okay. But really, I am depressed because my boyfriend broke up with me. I feel guilty. I don't know. You just never associate yourself with those labels. Those are just emotions. And we conceptualize the meaning of stress. Learn that there is definitely a healthy aspect of it, and view it as healthy and a way to help you stay focused and seek clarity. It's and it is a way to, okay, so you want to build on those neural pathways, build on positive memories to build your resilience to cope with stress, and be honest with yourself, or it will not resonate on an unconscious level, and then it will not work. So if you, when you perceive stress as normal, and let it work for you instead of against you, then you will no longer suffer the physiological reactions that result in mental health diagnoses. It will lower your immune system, and it will not cause you to develop illnesses, and just work on building resilience to it and cultivate your mind and neuroplasticity. Remember, whatever you wired in there, even if it's trauma, you can unwire it out. Redesign that memory or thought as something that works for you in a manageable way. I'm going to leave you with an example. Say you had an abusive upbringing. Your father was an alcoholic and beat you. You can reconceptualize that as, my dad was sick. He had alcoholism. He was not a healthy person. I kind of, well, depending on how bad he beat you, I'm sorry that he was sick and he must have had a miserable life. And I am not going to let him continue to harm me, because he harmed me enough in the past. He's not going to have control over the future. So either forgive him if it wasn't so bad, or don't give him the benefit of controlling you anymore. Same with bullying. If you can't forgive the bully, maybe the bully was beaten at home. Maybe you can feel bad. If you can't do that, then just cut the chain. Don't change that bully anymore, because quantum physics, we're all connected. You're still connected to that bully. Cut that chain by saying, I'm not going to let that person affect me anymore. So on that note, I am still offering to anybody who was supposed to go to this webinar. I hope you didn't rearrange your schedule for me. I feel so bad. Oh, then if you did, I will up it to 1 hour free coaching. If you didn't, if you weren't completely inconvenienced by it, then I'll keep it up to 20-30 minutes of free coaching session. Also, give me your email and I will send you this Word doc of the complete presentation, so you can have this access to this information. And 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So it was that, and I believe that was it. So I hope that you gained something for this. I will tell you, it was life-changing for me. And I know this is a long video. I appreciate you for watching. And honestly, I am not a salesperson. I just can't express how grateful I am for this program, because like I said, I was very hopeless that there was ever going to be anything better than just blah. And there's more mind management facts. I'll do more videos in the future without focusing so much on the infographics. It's too time consuming. So, okay. Have a good one. Did I end it? Oh, it's still recording. Okay. No. Okay, it's still recording. Awesome. Because, like I said before, it did not record. I honestly think the last one, and I just did was better, but this one was same information. I'm just tired now, but okay. Well, if you have any questions, post them in the comment section because I will be uploading this on YouTube and on my Facebook, my private Facebook page, maybe my public, I don't know, I haven't decided, and absolutely on LinkedIn because those are the people I feel bad I disappointed the most. All right. Have a good night. Bye bye.